Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Alarum. And this is a new crime thriller coming to you from director Michael Polish and writer Alexander Vesha. And Polish had recently directed films like Force of Nature that had Mel Gibson in it. And here, this film focuses on Scott Eastwood and Willa Fitzgerald's Joe and Laura. They're two rogue spies that wind up getting married, going off the grid, and, they're off in this secluded cabin area, and a bunch of intelligence agencies come colliding in, trying to find a stolen hard drive, and things start getting complicated when there's a lot of different moving pieces and a lot of different motivations coming from everybody involved. You have Mike Colter's character, who's out on this mission to get this hard drive. You have Sylvester Stallone's character, who's been called in by the U.S. government to try to get that hard drive back, but also to figure out what the hell happened to their asset, played by Scott Eastwood. And I think the thing that works most about this film is that it does legitimately try to navigate the idea of, why are you connected with who you are? And it's relatable in terms of, do you keep working a job where you don't feel valued, or you feel like you're being manipulated, you feel like you're being taken advantage of? In this context, it's why do you have allegiances to these specific countries or organizations? And this Alarum organization is supposed to be that alternative of people working together for their own best interests and making sure that they're being taken care of. And, is that treason? Is that just, wanting to have a job that doesn't take advantage of you? And this film introduces all that, and that's probably the most compelling aspect. And you have performers like Fitzgerald and Coulter and Stallone, who are charismatic actors that bring something to the table. I think Fitzgerald gives the most interesting performance in the film. Coulter's just... the accent he's doing is so distracting, and Stallone's not in it a whole lot. It's very interesting seeing him pop up in these Lionsgate films where you could definitely tell he shot for a day or maybe two. And, he's cool, he's Stallone, and he does he does a fine job with the material that's given to him, which is not the most interesting. And, Scott Eastwood is fine. And it's just, he's not a charismatic leading man, and you're anchoring this film on him. Luckily, Fitzgerald picks up a lot of that slack. And then you have, these guys off in some, secluded U.S. government room talking about all these things. And it just, after a while, there's just too many pieces on the chessboard. There's too many cooks in the kitchen, and all coming from different directions, and whom is going to screw over whom, who's going to betray whom, what's really going on here. And it just turns into a convoluted mess by the end that you're just none of these twists and turns mean anything anymore, because you never really got a good bearing of things to begin with. The action is really clunky and really CGI effects heavy and not very well shot or thrilling, to be honest. So this working as an action thriller really is kind of disappointing, because it does not deliver on those things really at all. This winds up being a pretty clunky, spy thriller type of film that doesn't even give you an actual ending to the story, and just leaves this wide open thing where it's this is the sequel baitiest ending you're gonna find, and you're just really? That's what's happening here? So action-wise, story-wise, not the most satisfying. It has some interesting ideas and some solid performances from charismatic performers, but at the end of the day, this is definitely going to be one of those action thrillers that come out in January and kind of just float away. But those are my thoughts on Alarum. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.